Chilling Reign is finally here, so as I promised, we're going to start off our coverage by looking at a deck featuring a very strong one-prize attacker. It's incredibly powerful, and most importantly, it's relatively cheap to put together on a budget. It's Gardevoir. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we are going to take a look at Gardevoir. Chilling Reign is finally here, and I'm excited because there are so many really cool decks to take a look at. If you're excited for Chilling Reign, as you rightly should be, then make sure you leave a like on this video. I am super stoked to be able to bring you some nice semi-budget content early on, and if you want to see the rest of my Chilling Reign stuff, there's going to be a ton of it over the next month or so. Make sure you subscribe down below. Let's go to PTCGO and check out the list. Here we go, first Chilling Reign deck list, and I think it's a good one. Gardevoir is a really strong Stage 2. It's got a fantastic ability, it's got a really good attack, and it synchronizes quite well with a lot of good cards from this set. So let's take a second to talk about it. Shining Arcana is an incredible ability. Once per turn, you can draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. There's no downside. Draw 2. And if one of those cards is an energy, you can attach it to any Pokemon you like. So it's got inbuilt energy acceleration and inbuilt card draw. This is an incredibly powerful ability. We also have a really strong attack. Brainwave for 3 colorless energy deals 60 damage, plus we deal an extra 30 for every psychic energy that is attached to Gardevoir. Now, we only play psychic energy in the deck, which means that we're going to be doing 60 plus 90, which is 150 base damage. A really solid hit from a one-prize attacker. And remember, we can accelerate energy infinitely with this Gardevoir, so we can get to really high damage caps. Now, you say, Mitch, this is a Stage 2. Stage 2s are always really difficult to get into play, and I would say, well, yes, but there is a really cool Kirlia in this set as well. That means that you can get your Kirlias into play really quickly so that Gardevoirs can come down as soon as turn 3, I think it is, because of 1, 2, yeah, 3, turn 3, which is incredible. You can get 4 Gardevoirs in play on turn 3, I'd say yes to that. It's got Mirage Step, which is really reminiscent of Frogadier back in the day when Greninja was a really big deck. What we can do is we can search our deck for 3 Kirlia and put them on the bench. It's just that. That's really good. Which means that if you've got this Kirlia in the active, you attack, you get 3 Kirlia on the bench. That's potentially 4 Gardevoirs next turn. Now, 4 Gardevoirs might be a little bit of overkill, you say, so maybe we could include the new Gallade as well. I really like it. 170 HP fighting type Pokemon. For 2 colorless energy, it has the attack Dynablade, which is, it's pretty solid. 60 times the amount of Pokemon V your opponent has in play. Now, that can obviously be a lot weaker than Gardevoir's regular attack in a number of situations, but you go up against the Eternatus, this thing's going to take a knockout, guaranteed. And since it's got colorless energy attack cost, you're going to be able to attack easily thanks to Gardevoir's accelerating ability. Boy, there's a lot going on in just that line, and that's not even the only attacker in the deck. We also have Trevenant Dusknoir. Now, unfortunately, this card is slightly more expensive, so feel free to swap it out for anything you like. Any other psychic attacker or colorless attacker will work perfectly fine. Gardevoir is good enough on its own, but Trevenant and Dusknoir provides that extra little bit of quality that makes this deck really strong. So if you've got a couple of them, try and get them in. 3 psychic energy, 150 damage, and we shuffle 2 cards from our opponent's hand into their deck, so we can slow our opponent down whilst we're setting up all of our Stage 2s. Very nice. We've also got Pale Moon, which is a useful GX attack which can potentially take prizes, but we're not expecting it to do it all the time. It's just a nice option to have. We also play 1 copy of the new Cresselia. So many new cards to talk about. This card is exactly the same as Volcanion, except it's got some slightly different numbers on it, right? Photon laser's slightly different. It does 120, which is good, right? But it's just, you know, it's the same card. So if you've played with Volcanion before, you've seen Cresselia. We've also got Fog Crystal, which is a fantastic way to search out our basic psychic Pokemon. Finally, one last card, Path to the Peak. If you haven't played with this card yet, make sure you're aware of it, because Path to the Peak will stop cards like Dedenne, it'll stop cards like Crobat V. It'll stop cards like Shadow Rider Calyrex, because it turns off all abilities of Pokemon with a rule box. Rule box Pokemon are Pokemon like Vs, GXs, that kind of stuff. So make sure you're aware of it. This card is really, really strong. Here's the deck list. This is it. It is down in the description. Whilst you're there, leave a like. I've talked long enough. Let's play some cards. We begin. We're going first. We've got a Ralts, we've got an Energy, we've got a Fog Crystal, we've got a Path to the Peak. There's so much going on. We're going to attach to Ralts. Unfortunately, we've started Cresselia and we've gone first, which is not something that we generally want to do, but I can live with it. I'm also going to use Fog Crystal here to find a Trevenant Dusknoir and put that in play. We're playing Path to the Peak, so our opponent can't draw cards with Dedenne or Crobat. We've got ourselves a decent start. Cresselia has 1 energy retreat cost, which is way better than Volcanion. It means we can attach to it this turn and retreat. It's not going to be too hard to do, and we will be able to get our Kirlia attack off if we can find a Kirlia, which I would really like to see. Now, we're getting Marnie. That's fine. I was going to Marnie us anyway. So yeah, we've got... this deck's really, really cool because it's so simple. If we go first, we try and get the Kirlia off, the Mirage Step. If we go second, we try and use Crescent Glow from the Cresselia to try and power up the Trevenoir. It is incredible. Now, we've managed to find Kirlia, which is great news. We've got an Energy as well. We've got Pokemon Communication. I think we'll just attach that Energy to Cresselia. Now, I'm going to retreat into Kirlia, and I'm just going to use Mirage Step now. We're going to grab those 3 Kirlia and put them onto the bench. The reason that I've done this, it seems a little weird. You've got a research in hand. Why would you not play it? The Pokémon and the Mew can become a Gardevoir next turn, but also I don't want to draw into Kirlias if I can avoid it. Because if I draw into Kirlias, then I can't put them onto the bench with my attack. So that is important. Our opponent is quick balling for a Crobat. Don't play it. Oh, it's our first victim of Path to the Peak. People not paying attention to the card on the first day that it came out, and fair enough too. I don't blame you. You're not a bad person. It's just funny because it happens so regularly when new cards come out. People just don't read them, and that's I'm sure it'll happen to me as well. I'm sure I'll just see it and I'll just ignore it and I'll just play something down. But you know, it's whatever. Now our opponent is struggling here to get their attack off since they weren't able to draw cards. Looks like we're actually up against a thingamawhat's deck. What's it called? Delmize, which is exciting. I haven't seen one of these for a while. Let's Pokecon for our Gardevoir, because we can utilize that quite nicely. We've got an attacker evolved in the active. We've got an energy that we can attach to that Gardevoir, and now we can research. We're away. We are absolutely away. Now, hopefully, we can find some energies with our Gardevoirs here, because I'd really like to attack. So we've got 2 Shining Arcana abilities. Let's use them both. We managed to find 1 energy, which is fantastic. I'm going to accelerate that to the active, which is beautiful. We'll use the second one, and we get a second Psychic as well. Let's attach this down to the Trevenant Dusknoir, and now we can Brainwave for 150 damage. Very, very strong. And we are ready and raring to go. Now, I'm excited about all of the shiny cards in this set as well. You may have noticed that Psychic Energy was one of the gold ones. I managed to pull one, which was incredible. Now I just need like 12 more to play Shadow Rider Calyrex, right? I only need 12 more. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. So we've been Marnied. Our opponent's tried to slow us down. We've been Marnied into a Gardevoir, an Evo Incense, and a Fog Crystal. So hopefully we can have a bit of luck here. We can get some energy down, and we can start attacking with either the Gardevoir or the Trevenant Dusknoir. Now, our opponent's going to anchor Anger, which deals 120 damage, which will unfortunately knock us out. So we're going to stick this Trevenant Dusknoir up, and we are going to hope for the best. Let's evolve into another Gardevoir. Let's Evo Incense. We'll find the final Gardevoir. We're going to draw 6 cards here. Are you ready? Actually, no, we shouldn't draw cards yet. What we should do... No, let's draw cards. This is fine. Accelerating, and energy to the active. Beautiful. Let's try again. Actually, no. Yeah, let's do it. Nope, nothing there. Neither of those cards particularly useful. That's okay. One more. Again, no interesting cards off the top there. But we do get the Oranguru, which is quite good. We've got the Frog Crystal. The Frog Crystal. The Fog Crystal also. We've heard it all now. I'm going to Primate Wisdom. I'm going to put a, I don't know, Path to the Peak to the top. I don't know. Ooh, Cynthia and Caitlin, we could play that if we want. I don't really want to, though. I kind of want to just gust out something and hit into this. Because what we can do here is we can Night Watch, right? We can Night Watch for 150. And then, bang, yep, Night Watch for 150. And then we shuffle the 2 cards in our opponent's hand into their deck. So they don't get to use them anymore. And now they're top decking, and we're in such a great position. We've got Cynthia and Caitlin we can use to get the boss back. We can use the Oranguru to put energy on top if we draw into it. We are in a fantastic position, and now our opponent doesn't have any cards at all. So let's use Cynthia and Caitlin. Let's just start drawing cards, because this is what this deck does. We'll grab the boss back with Cynthia and Caitlin. We'll draw some cards. We will Shining Arcana once. No energy. We will Shining Arcana twice. No energy. Disappointment. We will Shining Arcana 3 times. No energy. Disappointing. Okay. Well, I mean, it's fine. We will just Primate Wisdom the Marnie to the top. We don't really want that, do we? And now we can attach an energy to our Gardevoir, and we can just Night Watch, take the knockout, take 2 prizes. Our opponent has nothing. The best they can do this turn is 120 damage to me. I am feeling good. And we've managed to get an energy off of the prizes, which means that we can Oranguru it to the top of the deck and guarantee that we accelerate it. And there you go, our opponent has just attacked with their Delmise. I do not think that they're going to be able to deal with us. I think this game is pretty much done. That Jesse and James just makes this turn so much better. Let's keep accelerating some energy. We'll accelerate to the Gardevoir. We will, let's see. We could Pale Moon for the extra here, can't we? Yes, we can. Okay. So we might be Pale Mooning here. I'm going to Jesse James and then use Pale Moon and hope that our opponent doesn't top deck a Switch or a Supporter. I just like the idea of using Pale Moon GX, to be honest. So let's do that. Our opponent cannot knock us out. They don't have any energy because of the second effect of Pale Moon. We should be fine. We should be fine. They got a money. Well, that's one of the downsides of using this particular method of control, is that you don't always guarantee that things will work out the way you want. They still have to have the Switch, though. They don't have the Switch. Okay, so it's all happening now. We've got a bunch of cards. We've got a bunch of energy. We've got a bunch of attackers. How can we be stopped? We frankly cannot. We cannot be stopped. Let's attach to the Gardevoir. I'll Primate Wisdom and energy to the top to guarantee that we get an energy acceleration with Shining Arcana. Oh, look at that. We managed to find an energy. How strange. And then we can just keep drawing cards, can't we? Oh, another one. Another one. Let's just keep going. One more. Shining Arcana. What do we find? Not a lot. That's okay. How much am I dealing here? 6... 9, 12, 150, 180, 210. I think I just win the game, don't I? Because I can just use Escape Rope, go into Gardevoir, and then take a knockout on whatever he brings up. Because everything on their bench has 210 HP or less. Double's ability's off because of Path to the Peak. They promote the double, Softball isn't working. Brainwave, 210. Which It's a one-prize attacker. It's a one-prize attacker. A substantially worse start this time, but it's okay. We have a frog crystal, as it were. We can grab a Ralts here. This is fine. What's our opponent playing? Gengar Mimikyu. Oh boy. I have no idea what I'm playing against here. Let's just pass to the peak, and we'll pass to the peak. We'll wait and see. Horror House GX is likely coming here, but they can't take a knockout, so we'll just wait for a bit. If they gust the Ralts, that would suck. I would not be a fan. Boy, oh boy, I'm a bit tired. So, Australian time, these cards came out at like 2:30 in the morning. And as I record this game, is about 7:30. So, in the morning. Let it be known. So it is, pretty tiring, but that's okay. Horror House has happened. We just pass because we can't do anything. We just hope that our opponent doesn't gust us here, right? They've got the energy. We just have to hope. Oh, another one! We got another one! Oh, no. Heartbreak. Heartbreak for you, Pyzak. Oh, no. They've been Path to the Peaked. What a sad, sad moment. What a horrible situation. That Mewtwo's useless. Can't use its ability. Oh. Mwah. Mwah. This looks like a psychic deck. This is going to have Shadow Rider Calyrex in it. They've got their Fog Crystal. We're going to see Shadow Rider Calyrex. Yep. Yes, we are. Boy, oh boy. Okay. This guy's a multi-millionaire playing the best deck in the format the day that it comes out. But each to their own, I suppose. We've got a Kirlia. We definitely want to have that. We can attach an energy. I think we just put one on the active. Hopefully it works out, and then we can research. Now we're looking for a switch or something here that can get into our Kirlias. This is fantastic. We've got the switch, which I like. We don't have an amazing hand for next turn, but we do have 3 Kirlias in the deck, so we can get all 3 of those down with Mirage Step, and now we wait. If we can, I would like to try and attack with Trevenant Dusknoir next turn. If we can't, it's okay. I can live with it. But if we can get their hand down to a low size, if we can keep Path to the Peak in play, we might just be able to get enough momentum going before this Shadow Rider Calyrex can get set up. Because if that... Oh my goodness, they're just going to knock out my Trevenant Dusknoir. Okay. Well, that's rude. That's very rude. And you've got 2 cards in hand. Is there a world in which I knock out this Gengar Mimikyu this turn? I don't think so. We've got 3 cards now because of the prizes. This is fine. We're just going to play a much slower, much more relaxed game. I'm going to calm the Cresselia back into the deck. We would like a Gardevoir, I think. Actually, no, let's get the Oranguru. Let's get the Oranguru, because then if we find a Gardevoir off of our Cynthia and Caitlin, only now am I realizing how foolish this is. This was a mistake! Get the research! Can we find a Gardevoir, please? Oh, we found 2. It's fine. So wrong. It's just incorrect. I love being rewarded for being bad at the game. Okay, so, double Gardevoir. We have 1 in the active. We have a second one on the bench. We can guarantee an energy attachment with the Fog Crystal. So I think we might just go... Actually, we might... No, we'll get the energy. It is worth getting the energy. It just looks so nice. The shiny one looks so nice. Let's Shiny Arcana. No energy. Okay. We got a common Ralts though, so we can find another Gardevoir, which is good if we need one. We will use... Oh my goodness, that time we just swapped a Psychic for a Psychic. That's disappointing. Oh well, we've got another Psychic Energy here anyway. So now we're doing 150 damage. We can calm away the Ralts. Get ourselves another Gardevoir. Another Gardevoir. More Gardevoirs, please. And then we can just use Shiny Arcana again. And hit 2 energies? I don't think we can knock out. 150, 180, 210, we can't. Oh, boy. We just put him on a benched one. 2 energies off of the top. Whew. And I mean, let's just do a little bit of fancy switch work here, because they're going to try and attack with their Gengar Mimikyu. So we want to remove the trainer cards that we have in our hand. So I'm happy to take a 1 prize knockout if it means that our 1 prizer doesn't get knocked out next turn. So we just have to hope that we don't get a trainer off the prizes here. Whoops. Frankly, whoops. Should have unprized something that wasn't a trainer. I don't think that you have control over that, Mitch, frankly. I don't think that you ever really have that capacity. I don't think that you can do that. They still haven't managed to clear this Path to the Peak. There's the Shadow Rider. So they've got the Shadow Rider. They just need to get rid of the stadium. They replace the stadium and they are away. They don't have a way to replace it, and they have 2 cards in hand. Okay, Evolution Incense. Gallade is the only card we have. We don't have another Gardevoir. That's okay. Because Gallade is excellent for discarding. So what I'm thinking, and bear with me on this one, I'm thinking that we... Oh my god, I think we just Jesse James. We're going to get rid of their cards. I'm going to get rid of a Research and a Gallade. Then we're going to draw a bunch, I think. Let's just guarantee an attachment with the Shining Arcana. Let's do that. We find one, of course. We're going to attach that to... Let's attach it to the bench so we've got backup attackers everywhere. And now we just keep drawing cards with Shiny Arcana until eventually something changes. We've got an extra energy. I think I'm going to put that on the benched one. And then I'm going to Brainwave. They've got no cards in hand. We're half hitting everything that they have in the field of play. Why is this working so well? Why is Gardevoir working so well? And look at that, they top deck a stadium, but they can't deal with the Gardevoirs. They cannot deal with us. We just keep going. Let's grab another energy with the Fog Crystal. We can Primate Wisdom that energy to the top of the deck. It's just working so nicely. Shining Arcana for another 2 energy. Whew. Going to attach one to the bench, and we'll attach another to the second Gardevoir. Then we'll Shining Arcana for another energy. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then we are going to... we've got 6 cards left, so we can keep drawing. We've got 4 cards left now. I don't think we've seen a boss at all, but that's okay. We're just going to Brainwave. We'll take the knockout. Hopefully we get a boss off the prizes, because that Mewtwo and Mew is sitting on the bench begging to be knocked out. So 3 prizes for us. 2 energy. So that's an attachment and an acceleration. Our opponent has a Jirachi to try and draw out of it, but even if they knock out one of our Gardevoirs, they cannot win the game. If they Marnie us, they give us access to the boss, presuming that there's one left in the deck. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm 99% sure that I'm going 2 from 2 with Gardevoir here. There's that Underworld Door ability, an incredible ability, but they just haven't been able to utilize it yet. They're going to scoop up the Jirachi, chuck the Mewtwo into the active, and they're going to Poltergeist. Alright, so we are going to win this game. 450 damage is a lot. Gee whiz. Okay. That's without weakness as well, because Gardevoir isn't weak to Psychic, it's weak to Metal. Now let's see, can we find a boss? We do not currently have a boss. Is there a boss in deck at all? Hopefully there is. If there is, then it's the last 2 cards. Shining Arcana, there's the boss, so we would have been able to do it even if our opponent hadn't promoted. Was the other boss in there? The last 2 cards were boss's orders. That's funny. Alright, Brainwave time. This is going to deal a huge amount of damage. What's that? 540 damage of our own onto a Mewtwo from a 1 prize attacker. Oh, well, I never. So there you have it, our first deck for Chilling Reign, and it's time to grade this card. Is Gardevoir as a deck good enough for you to pick up and start playing? Well, frankly, yes, it's very good. I'm not going to say that it's got an A-grade playability. It's not a top-tier standard format deck, but it is definitely very playable, and if you can get past some of its slight inconsistencies, because there will be moments where it's a Stage 2 deck that doesn't have Rick Henny, you know, eventually something is going to go wrong. If you can get past that, then it is a very, very strong option for you. Value-wise, I've given this one a B, and it's only because of this Trevenant Dusknoir. If you don't play Trevenant Dusknoir, this is an A-grade value deck. Gardevoir is so easy to get your hands on, especially in the early days of Chilling Reign, so definitely worth picking it up. And this is a fun deck. If you draw 7 cards every turn and accelerate energy like this Gardevoir does, then you're having a good time. I've given this one a B+. This is a really, really good deck. And a really good place to start if you're not willing to spend the money to go to the big stuff, but still want to dip your toes into the Chilling Reign format. So thank you very much for coming past and being a part of my first Chilling Reign video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you leave a like down below, and if you liked it so much that you'd consider supporting me financially, then there's a join button. It's $3 Australian a month to join, become a member, get some emotes. The streams will happen. They will happen again. Do not worry about that. So just remind me. Dadbod, Azazel, thank you again for your continued support. Fernando, Yolo, Stephen Tai, Asian, Abel, Austin, Josiah, Leaf Devourer, Robsy, Brad Chings, Brad, Justin, and Croc Otaku Gaming. Thank you for being Royal Sableyes, as well as all of these lovely people over here who are Mega Sableyes. If you're a regular Sableye, don't worry, I see you there. I see you. Thank you everyone for coming along, and I'll catch you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.